Who is your target market? Consumers want and expect messaging that speaks directly to them, or they will likely ignore you. There's just too much information bombarding us at all hours of the day and night. As modern humans, we are subconsciously forced to screen out anything that doesn't directly apply to us. To create hyper-targeted messages, you have to know your target market inside and out. Successful business get inside of the customer's mind and find out what the individual really cares about. What are their pains and passions? What do they desire? What do they think about, and what do they search for online? When you can find out those tiny details, you can search more specifically and find buyers in not so obvious places. For example, in the how to make money business that you have, I often think back to myself when you want to buy a stuff from infomercials. What were my desires? What got me excited? Where did I look for more information? What words and phrases was I searching for? What magazines did I read? I try to figure out what words and phrases was I searching for. What magazines did I read? I try to figure out what my mindset was at the time. If I had a wrestling product, I would think back to my own wrestling days. Who are the people in the wrestling market? What are they searching for? What problems do they want to solve? What question do they need answered? I suggest create as detailed a picture as possible for the product you are selling. You want to go way beyond typical demographics when answering question number 1, who is your target market? Then, when you have an accurate picture, you can move on to the next question. Where is your target market congregating? Remember, your target market is made up of real people, so you need to look at their real behavior. Where do they hang out online? Where do they spend their time? What email newsletters might they subscribe to? What blogs do they read? What Facebook groups are they a part of? Are they even on Facebook, or do they prefer Instagram? What keywords are they searching for on Google? What books are they buying on Amazon? Answering these questions can take some time and research, but it's worth taking as much time as you need to develop a clear picture of where your ideal clients are directing their attention. Finding traffic on the internet really is as easy as answering their questions. Who is my target market? Where are these people congregating? You search for a little while, and boom. You might find an email newsletter they subscribe to. You're going to tap into that. You might buy ads in that newsletter and try to entice all those people back to your website. You might find a blog they frequent, or maybe a Facebook group they like. As the entrepreneur, it's your job to go out there and find these congregations. There are people you can hire to help, and there are systems you can set up to tap into those congregations, but first you have to get into the mindset of the target market and figure out where they congregate. How can get a customer to leave the congregation and check out your page? Your job online is almost the same. You are trying to engage someone who is already checking email, Facebook, and his cell phone at the exact same time. You have to interrupt potential customers long enough for them to click on your ad and visit your website. As you start to think about what type of ads should you be placing, what they should say, what types of image they should use, I recommend go to Google Images and searching for National Enquirer headlines. You'll see hundreds of examples that you can model. If you look closely, you'll notice the magazine always uses a strange or unusual picture to grab the eye. Then it uses short, punchy headlines, usually describing something weird, unusual, or shocking, to make you curious enough to buy a copy. The image and headlines interrupt whatever you were thinking about to make you pay attention to the product, a magazine. Remember that just because you've identified who your dream prospects are and where they are, your job isn't done. You still need to grab their attention and get them to click over to your website. You do that through these interrupt-style ads. Your role is the entrepreneur. This task is not for the person buying the ads, optimizing the ads, or picking the keywords, etc. That's like expecting a building contractor to know how to pour the foundation, frame the house, put up the sheetrock, and run the electricity. A contractor does not need to know how to do all of those things to build a house. In fact, if he did do all of those things, it would take 10 times longer to get the job done. Instead, he understands the pieces that need to be in place to build a house, and then he hires the electrician to do the wiring and the sheetrock guy to put up the sheetrock. Your job as the entrepreneur is to understand the strategy behind these, then hire the Facebook guy to run Facebook ads and the Google guy to run Google ads. To this day, understand the strategy, and then set up system and hire people who are great at the tactics. In this way, we all do what we are best at. This information taken from internet. Written by Arshad A.